Hey, just a quick video. I want to show you a couple tools I just got. They are old hat to anyone who has worked with ICs before, integrated circuits, but little chips. Uh, but, I didn't know this existed until I was like, hey, how come this sucks? How do you do this the right way? So I looked into it, and this is like a tool to put I'm not calling them microchips, but these little computer chips that you've seen before. They're integrated circuits. And they don't like fit properly into a board. Um, the the edges are like flared out, and they like aren't 90 degrees when you get them. They ship to you in like a big long tube, and they're like flared out instead of being like a U shape. It's more like a wider shape. So like sometimes people like sit there and like bend these pins in by hand, but that's dangerous because you can like accidentally give it a very small electric shock, like static electric shock, and that can ruin the chip. Or it's like you manually bending these pins, you can break them, or like you can bend them too far. So I have these two tools. This one like it's new old stock from RadioShack. It says it was made in Taiwan, distributed from Texas. Looking for a year. I don't know. Radio Shack's not around, so it's cool that I still have a new thing from it. And then this tool is for like straightening the pins. So this one will put them in or remove them. It's a IC, an integrated circuit inserter or extractor. And then this is a pin straightener. So this one has like springs here, and then a stationary part in the middle, so you can like squish it. So the way this works is you place the chip there, or if you have a wider chip, it can go on that side. This one is that width, like the 0.3 inch, I think. And then you squeeze it, and that's going to align all the pins and straighten them. So I don't have like a great before and after, but here you can see that they're 90 degree, like nice and angled. But when it ships to you, they're like wide like this, like bent out. And when they're bent out, they don't like fit. Like even if you're using the right footprint, it doesn't fit. Like the pins will line up on one side, but then not line up on the other. You'll have to like squeeze them. So this lines them up and bends them all straight. And it can stay in there. So often you'll like put it through and then flip it over and hold it in place so it doesn't fall back out, and then like bend one of the pins or two of the pins so it holds it in place for you when you solder, because right now it's still loose. But it won't fall out because I've bent the pins. If you leave them wide and then put them through and then they'll like spring back open, then that spring motion will hold them in place. So that's what happens in the factory. There's like a big machine that'll like grab it and move it and put it there, and it like squeezes them and puts it right there and then lets go, and they'll spring back out to hold it in place for soldering. And then this tool, which I'm opening here, like unboxing, it's not expensive or anything. It's just like a little mechanical tool. But to me, it is neat because it's new and from RadioShack. So this kind of replicates that machine. So we've got these two bags. So this is the tool, and it's also like a plunger, but it can hold the chips at the right width. So I guess if I hadn't straightened the pins yet, this would like hold in there because of the angled force. And then you line it up and like press it in, I think. In here there are different attachments for other sizes. If you have bigger chips. And then this will let you, carefully remove a chip. So you say it's already installed and you want to desolder it, and remove it. So if it's on there, you can heat up the pins, so like the molten solder wouldn't be holding in place anymore. And then you're able to carefully like grab it and pull it. Handling like this, like I said, was dangerous, but this is a very inexpensive chip that I'm just using as an example. So let's see if I can get it to work right. I'm like widening these as if it was new from the tube. And I guess this would hold it in. I don't know, maybe I don't know how it works. Maybe it's not holding it in place because maybe it's supposed to be adhesive, or maybe the pins are not like the right width. I don't know. This doesn't make sense. So maybe maybe it needs adhesive. I'm not really sure how this part's working, but this is really what I needed anyway, because I was able to straighten the pins. So when you use that, it makes them 90. And then they pop in place. This pin is bent down. I guess it doesn't fit that kind of problem. Doesn't fix the horizontal spacing, just the across the chip spacing. So I don't totally understand how to use this, but definitely this is what I needed to line up the pins so that they fit in there. Maybe this is for like more sensitive chips. It has this grounding pin, it says, so like if you have this wired up to ground, then you won't send electric shocks to it, because this won't be holding a static charge. But yeah, so I don't know how the inserter works. Maybe it has to do with my pins not being wide enough, so it's not being held in there. So that's like an over exaggeration. No, that doesn't hold it either. Yeah, I'm probably not understanding something. Like springs in there. I should try this with chips right out of the tube, so those are like the expected width. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I'm like pushing it down and it is grabbing it. Yeah, I think it's that spring force. Yeah, so probably it's the right spacing right when it comes out of the tube, when you first get it, and then you carefully place it in here without your fingers. I don't know. It's not holding it now. Well, I don't know how this one works. This one's very useful, so I would recommend getting a pin straightener, an IC pin straightener. Not expensive at all, just a few dollars. And it saves me tons of hassle when I was inserting these chips, these ICs. So before I had it, I was like bending each pin and having to like bend it back and forth a bunch of times. Now it's like squeezing them to the right width automatically. And I'm just like bending these two, so it'll hold it there, and then I'd keep it flipped and solder along these pads to hold it in place. Yeah. I'm just doing the first few of these by hand. Like eventually these will be assembled at the factory, but I was still in the prototyping phase, and this is like the first prototype board. I've gone through a second and a third one now. So, you know, once everything's all lined up, then I won't be doing the hand soldering anymore. These are for Han Solo frozen in carbonite panels, instrumentation cluster on the side. There's all these blinky lights, and this is the first prototype board that had so many errors, but basically there's little lights and things. I have other videos up that show what it does, but it's flashy blinky lights and knobs and things for a very accurate recreation of the side control panel from a couple scenes in Empire Strikes Back and one in Return of the Jedi, where Han Solo is in a block of carbonite and there's these like panels on the side. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out Custom 3D Stuff is my site, and there's other videos on this channel that go through how the board works. Thanks.